Well, this is a message for someone who is lost but doesn't want to ask for directions. Okay, so if this message is for you, you're in a situation in your life where you're legitimately lost. You don't know how to proceed, where to go, how to go about it. You feel really, truly lost. And yet, you refuse to ask for directions. And well, I don't want to get into why that is. If you have the time, the desire, and the disposition to do that, it's probably going to be helpful to you to dig. But that's not really necessarily relevant to the message. Because if this message is for you, what I've been getting is that there's something happening right now that is trying to let you know precisely what the issue is. Okay, there's something like right in front of your nose is what I'm getting, but it's also obfuscated by the background. Okay, and I'm getting a very specific image that hopefully makes sense to somebody, which is, you know, sometimes you tell men, and listen, I'm sure this happens with women too, but in my experience, it's only happened with men. Sometimes you tell men, you know, something's in the fridge or in the covers or in their closet, something they asked you about. And they go and they look and they claim it is not there. They don't see it. They might even take a significant amount of time looking, and they declare, it is not here, I do not see it. And then you go, and it is right there in front of them. They just somehow did not see it. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. It's happened to me so many times. Probably hundreds of times in my life, actually. So it's a phenomenon that does happen, and that is what's happening to you right now in regards to some kind of major thing in your life. The answer is there. It's actually been trying to hit you right in the face, but it's enough part of the background. Try to think of this fridge example. How could someone not see, say, I don't know, the barbecue sauce if it's right in front of them? Well, usually it's because there is a number of other sauces surrounding the barbecue sauce. So that's how it's being obfuscated by the group. It looks like you're just basically overlooking the details of the barbecue sauce because you're just taking the sauces as a group, and somehow your brain is not assimilating the one thing you're looking for. Okay, that is exactly what's happening to you though, in this problem situation you have going on right now. So you feel lost, you don't see it, you don't want to ask any more questions or directions. So I'm not sure why that is. Maybe you also feel like there's no one to ask directions to. Okay, maybe if this is your life, you're like, okay, I've been asking God for the freaking barbecue sauce. God told me the barbecue sauce is here and I don't see the fucking barbecue sauce. Who else can I ask? God, I'm asking you. You know, like maybe it's a life situation and the barbecue sauce, I don't know, it's the love of your life or the perfect job, or I don't know, some, you know, who knows, any kind of life dilemma that you feel lost and stuck on. You feel so lost, because what I'm getting here is like a castaway vibe of literally losing sense of direction because you're in the vastness of the ocean and you have trouble telling even like where north is, where south is, you know, like you are having trouble navigating whatever situation you find yourself in, but you feel like you've been in it a really long time and you feel like lost. You feel like your senses have failed you. Okay, going back to that example of I can't see it, like, you know, you feel like your senses have failed you. Now the message I'm getting is this is happening precisely so you develop that sixth sense and you learn to navigate on instinct. Okay, that's why all your senses are failing you, is so you lean on that sixth sense, okay? And now I'm getting Yoda training Luke Skywalker in, was that the third Star Wars movie or the second? I think it's the second, I forget. But anyway, it wouldn't even be the second, because those were like maybe chapter 7. I mean, I forget, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, when Yoda's training Luke Skywalker, he makes him go in dark caves to face his fears and inner shadows, and he forces him, he at times like will like put blindfolds on him. He's like forcing him to rely on his other senses beyond the 5 senses. God is doing that to you right now with whatever situation you're dealing with. God's trying to get you to use that 6th sense in a very primal animal way, kind of like when birds push their little birdies out the nest, kind of like fly. You've been holding on too long, it's time to go and fly. I trust your nature will kick in and you'll know what to do. And that's the position God is putting you in, and that's why you feel the way you do. And so you as well have to trust that inner primal instinct. This is what they say to mothers. You know, I'm not a mother, but this is what I've heard women who were mothers say to other women who are going to give birth and things like that. Like, trust your body will know what to do. Well, it's something like that, where you have to trust that you do have a 6th sense and it will guide you, okay? And this is literally what this season of confusion and feeling lost in your life is trying to bring out in you. I always say, when you're in a bad spot, ask yourself, if you were playing yourself as a character in a video game and you were trying to force yourself to do something, what does it look like you're trying to force yourself to do if you just look at your reality as a video game that someone is imposing on you? Okay, obviously, if every time you take a left you get hit somehow, or you fall, or something happens, maybe you're trying to get yourself to go right, you know what I mean? Something like that. So hopefully this was helpful.